This is AV SuperFriends Perspectives, a collection of interviews, discussions, and presentations from conferences, trade shows, and events that just don't fit either of the other two shows. Some are long, some are short, but they'll all have valuable insights, useful information, or just good conversation with thought leaders and subject matter experts. And now, the AV SuperFriends.
Hey folks, it's Jamie Reinhardt with AV SuperFriends, and it's another perspective. Our little 10-minute snippets into cool stuff we found at InfoComm 2025. And I stopped by the Visionary Solutions booth, and I found Chuck. And he's willing to let me pick his brain about some things. For those of you who have listened to the show for a while, you know that I use a lot of Visionary in my systems as my AV over IP thing. And we've talked a lot about Visionary started including USB and USB routing, and we'll be able to use webcams now. And in the Series 5, they've upped the game this year, and they got some pretty cool things. The first thing, the first thing that kind of caught my eye was the new wall plates.
Okay.
You guys had these new wall plates, and you've added some stuff to it. What did you add?
First we added a decoder, right? We actually added a decoder and a wall plate form factor. So you don't necessarily now need to find a place on the back of the display to hang the decoder. We can now mount it on the wall and have a nice, clean install. One of the things about this wall plate is that it will output up to 4K 6444 over HDMI, has RS-232 for control, but it also has two USB-C ports on it. And those USB-C ports can be used as actually USB 2.0, so you could connect USB cameras, keyboard and mouse, touch screens, these types of things to it.
And will it power those devices?
Will it power? It will do the 5 volts of power for those USB devices, yes.
Okay, and these are PoE? And you also have a model that has a little bit extra on it.
Yeah, we do have a Bluetooth model as well that's there, but they run off just standard PoE power. They don't have an internal fan that's on them, so the actual chassis itself acts as a heat sink to pull the heat out of it. But like I said, standard PoE power. Couple cool features about it is that they fit inside of a useful electrical box with a standard motoring with zero modifications. So no Dremel needed, anything else, they just drop right in.
You take all the fun out of it.
Right? And they also have a 45-degree angle network port on the back of it, so the Ethernet cable can meet any bend radius as it comes inside the box.
Wow, that's a good deal. So these are cool, right? And then we have the King announcement. And this is the one everybody's a little excited about. What is this?
That's our XB.
What is this? Yeah, tell me all about it.
Yeah, this is our XB5 conferencing bridge is what it is. So basically what it is the most common request that we get in for conferencing and education spaces is for BYOD, and everybody wants a single USB cable solution that's going to give them charging for the laptop. It's going to give them a wired network connection and bidirectional audio video. And that's something that we could provide previously, but it's going to take an encoder, a decoder, a docking station, a bunch of cables. It's complex. We could provide it, but it was a complex solution. So now we've simplified that and put it all inside of one box. So it's a PoE plus power, to power the device. It has two different USB ports. One of them is for an external power supply that will ship with the unit, and that can supply up to 100 watts of charging for the laptop. The other USB cable is what goes to the laptop, and that allows us to do power, wired network connection, bidirectional audio video, and that bidirectional audio video is not just for AV streams transmitting and receiving, but we can also combine and bridge USB over IP peripherals. So we could bring in an AV stream from an encoder that's on the network. We could also bring in the video feed from a camera that's on the network over USB, and we can matrix and route those all independently, but also bridge them and bring them over a single USB-C cable into the laptop.
Okay, so folks, I'm going to reiterate this. That last section is the key here. You can take different signals, matrix across your Visionary Solutions AV over IP network, and bring them into the computer as a single USB-C stream.
That's correct.
Connection.
That's correct.
And so you can have different cameras, you can have different audio, you can have different USB peripherals.
That's correct.
Guys, this opens up. It really is that one cable solution that we've we all kind of think we want, and now we actually get to try it.
That's correct. And not only that, but we're able to route the 3 major services of our 5 series units. So encoders, decoders, our video, our audio, USB. We can independently route all of those services. So you could have, say, a camera or even a touchscreen display that has basically a hard-coded route back to a PC that's connected to an encoder. And regardless of what they're showing on the display, you still have that touchscreen capability going back to the PC. So we can route just the video without affecting any of the USB connectivity.
That's fantastic. Okay, so you got all this stuff. It's got to be like a 20 gig network connection, right?
No, we're just standard 1 gig environment.
So standard 1 gig.
Standard 1 gig.
Pretty standard PoE requirements, right? It's not crazy.
That's correct.
And we get all of this.
That is correct.
Look, I'm excited to try it out. It's going to be fun. Availability, when are we thinking?
So XB5 should be shipping within 60 to 90 days of the show. We just announced it here at the show. Pretty much just about everything else that we've shown here is shipping now. The wall plates also are probably around 60, 90 days. The new ones, the new decoder wall plate and the USB-C wall plate encoder that has, so we do have that's one thing that I guess that we didn't talk about, is that we do have an encoder, now wall plate encoder with a USB-C port on it as well, which will take DisplayPort alt mode in, which is basically just HDMI.
Stop it, Chuck. Stop it. My head hurts. It's Friday.
That's awesome.
This is great.
So it's basically an HDMI signal using a USB-C connection.
Yeah.
So with that wall plate, we can then transmit that on the network, but we can also take that USB 2.0 from the decoder and bring it back as well. So you do get that bidirectional from that encoder. You're not going to get the charging, you're not going to get the data connectivity you get from the conferencing bridge, but it is something you can put in a floor box. It is something you can put in a podium that will give you bidirectional audio and video.
Where can we get more information?
Come visit us on our website. It's www.visionary-av.com.
All right. Thanks so much for taking a few extra minutes. You guys have been busy. Every time I walk by, you have somebody else talking to you. So hopefully it's successful, and let's drive some people to that at visionary-av.com.
That's correct.
All right. Thanks again, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good trip.
All right. You too.
Well, that wraps up another episode of AV SuperFriends Perspectives. If you have a perspective to share, you can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.